Hey everybody. I just lost, let's see, about 9 pounds in the last 2 weeks. So I just wanted to make a video kind of telling you how I did it. And, this isn't one of those videos where it's sponsored by anybody. And, I don't have any financial stake in anything. I just wanted to share my joy, I guess you could say, at what just happened and just share my little story about how this occurred. Um, One of our sons got married about 2 weeks ago, and my wife and I had been trying to cut down on carbs and even try to go keto, the ketogenic diet, in preparation for that wedding. And given what we knew back before the wedding, this is like a month leading up to the wedding, we, did our best. And I personally lost 5 pounds or so. And I had started at 202 and I had gone down to 197 by the time the wedding rolled around. And lost an inch or two on my waist. My wife had lost some weight and lost some inches too. So then the wedding rolls around, and we were out of town, and we just ate basically the way normal people eat again. And in about 3 days, I had gained 4 of those pounds back, just by eating more carbs, like normal people do, I guess you could say. And so I went from 197 before the wedding to 3 days later weighing 201. And that's what I weighed coming back home, and just kept on researching the keto diet, the low carb lifestyle, all that stuff. And that's when I came across and learned about basically what I call the magic or the miracle of this right here. MCT oil. It's made from coconut oil, and it contains a lot more medium chain triglycerides than coconut oil, though. Somehow it's made to extract more of that out of coconut oil. So it's kind of like coconut oil on steroids, because coconut oil is great for you to begin with, but this is apparently even better. And especially if you're trying to lose weight, because this raises your ketones in your blood, which is key to initiating and maintaining your body burning its own fat for energy instead of you constantly feeding it carbs for energy. So once I realized that MCT oil was crucial to fat burning, I started using it more, and especially in the way of intermittent fasting, because my wife and I had already gone down to 2 meals per day before the wedding, and so that was helping. But then we were just wondering, how could we go down to 1 meal a day like these so-called experts say that you should, strive to do, and really boost your fat burning that way? Because I thought I'd be hungry in the meantime always, and what am I going to do about that? So as it turns out, intermittent fasting and getting down to 1 meal a day was really easy because of the MCT oil. All you do is every morning when you wake up, let's say 7 a.m. or something, and you make yourself a coffee, put about a tablespoon of MCT oil in it, and you can put in your sweetener like monk fruit. That's a monk fruit liquid there, sweetener. Here's this Splenda stuff that doesn't have maltodextrin or dextrose in it. It's a liquid. You just put a squirt in it. It's supposed to be like 1 teaspoon of sugar equivalent. Here I even got glycerin, which is a type of sweetener also. You know, people use glycerin, vegetable glycerin in making cake frosting, things like that. Anyway, we also got erythritol in the form of Swerve. That was pretty good stuff too. But anyway, just fix your coffee however you like. We got rid of all of our milk. I mean, I never knew that milk had carbs in it. I never really cared or checked or anything. Turns out 8 ounces of milk has anywhere from 11 to 12 carbs per serving. I mean, that's crazy. So we cut that out. I literally just dumped, the remainder of a gallon of milk down our kitchen sink when I found that out. And we switched to, what do you call it, heavy cream. There you go. Just simple Walmart stuff. Heavy whipping cream. And, yeah, it's full of fat, but that's what you want. You want high fat, medium or low protein, and virtually no carbs per day. Like 20 to 25 carbs or so. At least when you're getting started. And anyway, you make your coffee in the morning when you wake up and put in heavy cream if you like creamer in your coffee. Put in some sweetener if you like sweeter coffee. Just don't use sugar, of course, because that's loaded with carbs. And beware of sweeteners that have maltodextrin and dextrose in it, because that apparently has a glycemic impact. But I showed you some good ones there. Here's another one that seems to be good. This is called Pure, and it's made with erythritol, like Swerve, erythritol, and this has stevia, but it doesn't taste all bitter like most stevia tastes, because it's mostly erythritol. But let's see. So anyway, you have your I call it MCT coffee. There's another version called Bulletproof coffee. I think it has butter in it or something plus MCT. But anyway, you put a tablespoon of MCT oil in your coffee, then fix your coffee the rest of the way you like it, except for milk, because milk has all those carbs. And just drink your coffee, mix it all up, get that oil mixed in there, and drink it all up, even if it's like 4 or 5 ounces only. You don't need a whole bunch of coffee. Just make sure you put that tablespoon of MCT oil in it. And the MCT oil kicks up your ketones in your blood, which burns more fat out of your body. It also apparently lowers your blood sugar at the same time, and also gives you more energy. So let's see. That's been the biggest thing, really. It's discovering MCT oil in order to help you prolong your fast overnight into the next day. Think about what breakfast means. You're breaking your fast overnight. You've been fasting all night long through sleeping. You may have, if you didn't eat like 2 or 3 hours before bedtime, then you sleep 8 hours. Well, that's 10 or 11 hours of fasting, right? So you break your fast by eating. Most people eat cereal and maybe some fruit with it, or toast or juice. I mean, you're consuming, my goodness, 80 carbs right there just in the morning. I mean, that's craziness. Carbs is what spikes your blood sugar. It spikes your insulin, which spikes your blood sugar. So you want to keep your insulin down, keep your blood sugar down, and your body will consume its own fat. And so anyway, it's MCT oil and intermittent fasting that has just blown my weight loss up, like turbocharged it or whatever. 9 pounds in 2 weeks. That's 9 pounds in 14 days. That's like over a half a pound a day. And it's not just water loss or something either. Like I said, my wife and I had been dieting, trying to figure out this keto stuff for a month before the wedding. So if we had ever lost any just plain old water weight, it was before the wedding. Um, let's see. So yeah, it's like zero point 0.6 or zero point 0.7 of a pound per day for the last 2 weeks. And I mean, we're eating well too. I mean, yeah, you can't just sit there and eat a big old humongous baked potato with a steak for dinner, or you can't eat, a big old plate of spaghetti, like other people do who may have weight issues or blood sugar issues, like type 2 diabetes or whatever. But I can tell you this much: just in the last week, while losing, 0.6 or zero point 0.7 of a pound a day, almost 3/4 of a pound a day for the last 2 weeks, we went to KFC. I had two chicken breasts and a chicken leg of original recipe KFC chicken with about half of a individual mashed potato serving at KFC and a diet soda. So I ate half of the mashed potatoes and 3 pieces of chicken with breading, and and 2 days later we went to a Chinese restaurant where I even ate some fried rice with my Chinese food. Now, I didn't go get the General Tso's chicken or the sweet and sour chicken or something like that. I got just chicken and like a beef and broccoli kind of thing that wasn't breaded and fried. Not that the fried part is bad, but it's the breading part that's bad, because bread has carbs. So anyway, so we ate out twice in the last like 5 days, and even had some potatoes and some rice. Not a lot, but some. And I've still lost 9 pounds in the last 2 weeks. And like I said, we haven't been starving ourselves or anything. Here I've got a recipe book that I've printed out recipes from online, like this. Coconut flour pie crust that my wife made. She made a low-carb cheesecake, and we put it on this coconut flour crust. It's absolutely great. Oh, and to top it, you can put, strawberries or raspberries, blueberries. It's all, pretty low glycemic, low carb. Berries are pretty good for you. But we even found these things at Kroger, I think it was. Yeah, Kroger. Calorie-free caramel syrup and chocolate syrup from Walden Farms is the brand. And right there on the label, 2 tablespoons have a serving of 2 tablespoons. Neither one has any carbs at all. It's delicious. We put it all over our cheesecake. Or another thing is whipped cream. The spray stuff or even the Cool Whip has like 1 or 2 carbs per serving. And I mean, we put on several tablespoons on our cheesecake and still lost 9 pounds in 2 weeks. Let's see what else here. Here's the cheesecake filling. Here, keto bread, low carb bread, 2 carbs per serving, 2 net carbs per serving. And it's not made out of coconut flour or almond flour like you hear everybody else talk about. It's from that guy who calls himself the Keto King. He shows you how to make it online on YouTube. Look up the Keto King. Anyway, this is what the bread looks like. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. I mean, it's just real bread. It's got vital wheat gluten and lots of oat fiber and flaxseed meal. Good stuff. Eggs. You even have to use yeast. I haven't been able to figure out how to get it to rise as well as the Keto King, but it rose enough for me, and it's delicious. And it's 2 carbs, 2 net carbs per slice. So, this morning after I weighed myself, I was down to 192 point something, down from 201 2 weeks ago. I cut 2 slices of that bread and slathered it with butter, because butter is good for you, believe it or not, if you're trying to lose weight, because it doesn't have carbs. It's got good, healthy animal fats in it. Threw it in the oven to toast it up, fried up a half a pound of bacon and 2 eggs in the bacon grease after the bacon was finished cooking, and covered all that with cheese on the bread. So it was an awesome breakfast. Oh, and I had another MCT coffee with it. So what it does is you fill yourself up from MCT oil to eggs to butter to avocados to bacon and cheese. You fill yourself up with good fat, or just fat in general, and that keeps you satisfied until, much longer than you normally would be hungry again. Because it's the consumption of carbs that spikes your glucose, spikes your blood sugar, that then in short time, a few hours later or whatever, crashes and causes you to feel like you're starving. So the fats keep you from crashing like that. It's amazing how long you can go without eating. And if you would just eat when you truly are hungry, you would be amazed at how long you can go without eating. I've gone like 21 hours on a intermittent fast just because I wasn't hungry. And even when I did finally eat my 1 meal of the day, this was a few days ago, it was only because, I was kind of hungry and kind of bored, so I just ate something. But it's just absolutely astounding how, I don't know about you, but I feel like I've been lied to by the federal government and by just so-called scientists and nutritionists for years, telling me that carbs were good and fat was bad. It's just the opposite. Now we have an epidemic of type 2 diabetes from people who weren't born with diabetes, but acquired it because of high carbs all their lives, which wears out their pancreas trying to secrete insulin in their body all day, every day, and trying to combat all that high carb influx into their bodies, and it just wears out. And it's been a disaster. And then you can't get your blood sugar down anymore because your body, your pancreas, and your digestive system in general can't compensate for all the carbs anymore, and boom, your blood sugar raises and you're in trouble. Here, low-carb coffee ice cream. I mean, come on. Vanilla ice cream, chocolate ice cream. We've made some delicious ice cream, and all you do is you use the heavy whipping cream, a keto sweetener, that's like use erythritol or one of the liquids, or even the glycerin. The little vanilla extract and some instant coffee. Throw it in a blender, and boom, you got you got a mousse basically because of the whipping around of the whipped cream in the blender. You get a delicious mousse right away in like 10 seconds or so, depending on how much of a quantity you make. And then you either just enjoy that mousse right away, or just throw it in the freezer, and 4 hours later, you've got ice cream. It's absolutely delicious. And virtually no carbs, like maybe 1 carb per serving. It's crazy. So you're enjoying yourself. It makes this way of living, or it makes this diet, if you want to call it that, easy, because you don't feel like you're being deprived. You can make sugar-free. We made sugar-free chocolate even. I mean, come on. Here's caramel sauce. Here, low-carb pancakes. Low-carb, sugar-free maple syrup. Again, using sweeteners and butter. And to thicken it, you use xanthan gum. All that stuff you can get on, Amazon or whatever. And it was delicious. We have pancakes, and bacon with maple syrup for breakfast. I mean, what are we doing without? I didn't know there was maple extract at Walmart or Kroger. They make maple extract. So you just throw some butter in a pan and some sweetener and start heating it up. Add in some maple extract, and before you know it, you got maple syrup that doesn't spike your blood sugar. So anyway, just wanted to share, like I said, I ain't got nothing to sell. I just was blown away by losing 9 pounds in 14 days and wanted to share it, So, I don't know. I think I'm supposed to ask you to press some kind of like button somewhere and subscribe or something. I don't know if there even is anything to just subscribe to, but to your health is all I can say. I'm enjoying this ride, and the numbers are absolutely amazing. My blood sugar is in the 80s. My last ketone check, if you know what that is, it was 1.3. And it's mainly because of low-carb MCT oil, in my cooking and in my coffee. And intermittent fasting, going as long as possible between meals. And the MCT oil just really helps you do that because it keeps you feeling full and gives you plenty of energy. So, thanks for watching. That's about it. To your health. Bye-bye.